How can parents develop good mental health practices for their young children?
When we think about how children are dealing with mental health struggles, it is true. In fact, the statistics show that children and young adults are actually having a more difficult time with mental health, especially in this era that we're in now. We are still not fully emerged from a global pandemic. And when we think about what that has meant in terms of mental health for all people, of all ages, of all backgrounds, it's definitely been much more than it ever has been before. In fact, now we see the stats showing that young adults and children are experiencing mental health conditions 6 times more than previous. Also, we're finding that if you compare from 2019, right before the pandemic, till today, that the rates of depression and anxiety have nearly doubled from pre-pandemic times till today. So the question definitely must be asked, what do we do to help the mental health of our children? The answer to that actually lies in, what do we do for the mental health of ourselves? It's very important to know that children model exactly what we teach them. And so when we ourselves are not taking care of our own selves as adults, how can they take care of their own mental health if we're not doing that same for ourselves? This is a very important point because in order to make sure that we are healthy, one of the prerequisites of Islam, one of our maqasid al-sharia, one of the actual foundational principles is the preservation of our intellect, the preserving of our intellect and making sure that we optimize it, the preservation of our body and making sure that we take care of it, the preservation of ourselves. And one of these being the foundations of Islamic understandings means that it becomes a fard, an obligation to do so. And anything that is also a prerequisite to that in and of itself becomes a fard. This is also one of the rules in our Islamic understanding. So back to children and how we take care of them. We take care of their mental health by taking care of our own as well. One of the Islamic understandings is that you can't give what you don't have. فاقد الشيء لا يعطي. The person who does not have something cannot give it. So if you are not healthy and well, how do we expect those who are in our care to be healthy and well? Today, I find that many young people are actually interested in getting mental health help and care. They actually are interested in seeking out therapy. They know that something is not quite right. And now the discussion on mental health nationally, globally, is really increased quite a bit. It's becoming less stigmatized. Yet when they go to their families or go to their parents, oftentimes that becomes the big barrier. The family says, no. What is this therapy that you're talking about? What is this need for mental health? And so not only is that adult in that child's life or that young adult's life taking care of themselves, they're also becoming a barrier for the younger person to get that help. And so I go back to the point I made earlier. In order to take care of our children's mental well-being, we need to take care of our own mental well-being and to make sure that we're not standing in the way of their ability to heal, nor are we standing in the path of our own self in healing. And to know that this journey of healing is actually one that is absolutely Islamic in its origins because of the foundational Islamic principles on preserving the mental intellect and preserving our bodies and our health. If you look at it from the core Islamic value, realize that this is part and parcel of our tradition.